Okay, welcome everyone to the Thursday, May 9th, 2024 Meridian Arts Commission meeting. Our mission is to develop, advance, and nurture all facets of the arts to enhance the quality of life for Meridian residents and its visitors. As vice chair, I'm just taking over for Crystal today because she's out of town. But so bear with me. uh, we'll take roll call first. Lizzie Taylor.
Here.
Bridget King.
Here.
Sean Muscolo. Me, Breckenbird here. Crystal's not here. Patrick O'Leary.
Here.
Bobby Gatan.
Here.
Hannah Scoville. He's not here. Vasil Ivanov. You not here? Not here. Okay, we will move on to our first action item, the adoption of the agenda. Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Madam Vice Chair, I so move.
Lizzie Taylor moves. Sean was seconds. Oh, okay. I think Sean already seconded, but thank you, Patrick. And then all in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. Next up, we will approve the minutes from the April 11th meeting. Do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
Madam Vice Chair, I so move.
All right, Lizzie Taylor motions to approve the minutes. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, Bridget King seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. All ayes, and then the motion passes. All right, we'll move on to the approval of the monthly financial statement. Does anybody have questions about the financial statement? Okay, do we have a motion to approve the financial statement?
Madam Vice Chair, I so move.
All right, Lizzie Taylor motions to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Sean Muscolo seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. And that motion passes. All right, we'll move on to new business. I think we'll probably turn that one over to Cassandra.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, Paxton was going to present to this item today, but she's out sick, unfortunately, so I'll present it. As most of you know, every year we do the Arts Commission selects pieces from the West Ada School District's show and then typically they get recommended for traffic boxes. So that's why we're here today, to look at those and get some feedback, and looking for a recommendation from the Arts Commission. From here, it will go on to City Council for approval, and then we can turn these into traffic boxes. We don't yet have locations selected. I have a vendor contracted to go out and do kind of a maintenance check on all the boxes and clean them. And so we'll see if there's any that need to be rewrapped, and then we'll prioritize those ones first. And then we do take recommendations from the artists and parents that are in it, in case there's one in their neighborhood that looks like maybe is available. So the first one is Eleanor Michalk's Idaho Wildflowers. She's a third grade student. And I do have to share a little story about this one. At the opening, her mom said that she was out of school sick all week and worked on this piece all week, every day, and just kept adding to it. And she was so excited, thinking that a lot of the other pieces were better than hers because, she's looking at the 12th graders. And was really excited to get the Arts Commission Award. And I said, I hope that she feels really celebrated tonight. And Mom said, oh, this is definitely a big deal because older sister is in gymnastics and she gets spotlighted all the time. And so they were excited to go out to dinner and make a big deal for her, and it was kind of all about her. So it was a really sweet story, along with many others that were at the opening. But I kind of wanted to share that one. Levi Nielsen's Toucan in the Jungle, fourth grade student at Hunter Elementary. Amaya Marshall's Chasing Butterflies. She's an eighth grade student at Idaho Fine Arts Academy. Lewis Beers, might be Lois, and Trail of Memories. That's a painting, Rocky Mountain High School student, 11th grade. This is the photography award. This is a 12th grade student at Renaissance. He was also kind of a pleasure to meet at the reception. He's really talented and does some other work. He might apply for the Initial Point Gallery in the future. So those are the recommendation or the awardees, and looking for a recommendation unless there's any questions.
All right. Yes, all those kids were really fun to meet the other night. I got to meet most of them, I think. But yeah, do we have a motion to recommend those traffic box artworks?
Madam Chair and Commissioners, I move that we adopt the art as shown for installation on traffic boxes.
All right, Lizzie Taylor moves. Do we have a second?
Second.
Sean seconds. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. That motion passes. And then we have review and recommend another item. So we're going to turn that back over to Cassandra, I think.
And I don't have a presentation for this one or anything, but I thought maybe it'd be easier to address you from here than over there.
Okay.
So I hope everyone had a chance to review this ahead of time. It's very similar to the transit shelter call that we released recently. It's a little bit different than some of the traffic box calls were that we've done in the past, because we're asking artists to do not just one box, but the two boxes next to each other for a little bit more of an installation instead of just the one box. And we have the sites pre-selected and got the plans for those from Signs Etc., which they were really generous to get those ahead of time so that the artists could more easily make their proposals. I did put in the proposal, I put the theme as Meridian history, but that was just me, so I'm totally open to other ideas or suggestions. Although we did get a couple of really great proposals for the transit shelters that were very Meridian history based, so potentially they might apply. And if there are more tweaks than a few tweaks, this could definitely go into the public art subcommittee for a little bit more work. But I'm ready to release it if you are, so.
All right. Do we have any comments, questions about the traffic box call?
I have one question to you, which is, at what point is the artist accepted and paid? Is that when you artist selection and notification? Because then after that, they do design development, right?
So they'll have to enter into an agreement with the city. So with the transit shelters, they had to submit the designs, and we'll pretty much have the designs, but they might have a couple of tweaks or something for like the initial designs before a review. So they typically get half then, and then half when it's complete.
Okay, so you're still able to reserve judgment until you see the final design, right? Okay.
I did have a question, as just like from an artist's perspective. I saw that it called for 3 references. I'm wondering like what would be, I guess I was wondering like what would be good references for artists to have for that? Would it be
Great
like
question.
other like previous like commission clients or?
Yeah, so I mean, probably ideally, if they had done a public art project before, which we don't expect them to, then
Okay.
someone that they'd worked with on that project would be ideal. But yeah, other like prior commissions would be good, or artists or art teachers that have worked with them or mentors would be good references.
Okay, just curious, maybe. I was just thinking of like if I was applying, not saying I am, but like what questions I might have, but that was one of them. Okay, anybody else? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the 2024 Traffic Box Series Call to Artists?
So moved.
Okay, Sean Muscolo moves. Do we have a second?
Second.
Lizzie Taylor seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. That motion passes. All right, and then we'll move on to, it looks like we have an event on, I think, Monday, the 13th. It does say, I did notice that it said 18th, but yeah, that's a typo. So it'll be Monday, the 13th at 11:30. There'll be a site dedication at the 5 Mile Creek Trail Hub for the new pathway construction. Do you have anything you want to say about that, Cassandra?
Thank you, Commissioner Byrd. So the dedication, the mayor and our parks director and our pathways manager will be speaking, and I'll be speaking, and Eileen will also be speaking. So the artists will be there, along with some of the artists that have worked on other projects. So anyone who is able to attend, it would be great to have you there. And then after the ribbon cutting, we're going to walk approximately a third of a mile over to the bridge that was also built, that's been called kind of the Golden Spike, because it links quite a bit of pathway segments together this is the longest contiguous pathway segment in Meridian. So it's exciting.
Madam Chair, I would just like to add to that, that as many people as possible that can be there, the better, because with the mayor there, let's make our Arts Commission look really vital, because we are.
One other quick thing, the trail hub, the parking at the site is limited. So if you are able, the wastewater treatment facility is just kind of across the street and down a little bit, and we'll pretty much pass by it on the walk to the bridge. So that would be a really good place to park too.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Cassandra. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it on Monday, and everyone else should try to if you can. And then one last event. It looks like we have a transit shelter public art unveiling for Friday, June 14th. So that's a little bit in advance, but do you have anything you want to say about that one?
Thanks, Commissioner Byrd. So this one will be in the morning around 9 to 11, but we're still nailing down an exact time. So I know I sent out the calendar invite to kind of hold it for that time frame, but it might be like 9:30 or something in there. We'll do the first one at the Third and Pine shelter, and then we will get on a bus for Valley Regional Transit to go over to the Shields station for the second one. And the bus will take us back too. Also, just kind of a cool bit of news on that, because at the last one, I was looking for input on whether to wrap it with the more transparent wrap or with the full color wrap. And Valley Regional Transit and I did say, oh, wouldn't it be great to be able to do a mirror image on the inside? But it is double the cost. And Valley Regional Transit is going to cover the cost so that we have it wrapped inside and out. So that's pretty great.
Well, that's very exciting. Thank you. Okay, and then we'll move on to staff updates. I feel like Cassandra's talking a lot. Wait, yep, go ahead.
Not always me talking this much. I'm going to go back over to the podium so it's. And hopefully you all get a chance to look over the staff updates. We always have a lot of projects going on. I feel like there's a lot going on right now. But I'll just go over some of the top updates. Got the Trail Hub and the Transit shelter ones, I highlighted those on there, so hopefully those are on your calendar. The traffic boxes, which we kind of went over. Linder overpass, so I have the plan for that. It's been reviewed by all the stakeholders, so I sent out the plan to the 3 artists, and we're working on task order agreements for them, so we'll have that moving along. And, oh, Chateau Park, that committee met on Monday. Does anyone who attended that meeting want to talk on that?
I just want to say that it was a very good idea. Thank you, Cassandra, for facilitating it to break into smaller groups, because that way you didn't have me talking all the time. And I really like the fact that each group, independent of the other ones, kind of came up with the same consensus. It wasn't the birdhouses versus everybody just kind of was on the same page.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, I attended the meeting and it went really well. I thought designs, I mean, we're working with a real professional artists and we're just, we're just happy to have some of his art, in our neighborhoods. And Ken McCall is just an outstanding artist, so we're looking forward to this public art.
Thanks. Yeah, I thought that meeting went so well, better than expected, because usually you get 15 people together to talk about public art and you have 15 very different opinions. And I think there was some variation in opinions, but the small groups I think worked really well because, and each of the commissioners that were here were on a different group, which was great, but all the groups kind of came to the same preferred projects. So next up on that is Ken will take that feedback and work on a final proposal. And then after that, there might be some tweaks to the final proposal, but if there's more than a couple tweaks, then that's outside his scope of work. So we would have to come up with a different plan. So hopefully all of the feedback was pretty well in consensus, including the HOA that wasn't there, that I didn't know she was going to show it to her HOA, but she did, and she had kind of the same feedback as the others, which was great. That hardly ever happens.
Sorry,
Yeah.
not to have been at that meeting, but what decision did you arrive at? What was the end run?
Yeah, so there were kind of 2 sets of ideas. There was sort of the historic houses that were mostly anyway, like they were kind of on like taller
Oh, yeah, I read the whole.
poles. Yeah, those ones. And then there were some benches. And then the other set was kind of more pollinator and floral based. And I think everyone liked the mix and match option, which was like a combination of different pieces, not just the bench or the taller piece or the sign, but like or a set of benches or the set of but like one of each of those pieces, but went with the pollinator sort of direction. One of the things with the historic ones, I think a lot of people really liked that project, but maybe that wasn't the best fit for this location because most of those historic homes are downtown and not over by Chateau Park.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Other things, we are asking for funding again for the public art master plan, but there's lots of requests to city council, so we'll see where that goes. There's the unsolicited public art proposal guide. We talked about that. I haven't started on that. Haven't started on Fuller Park just due to how many projects are going on. I'll let Lizzie talk about the shows with the gallery, but I did want to give an update on performances at the gallery. So unfortunately, we don't really have enough support moving forward with performance-based things in the gallery. So artist talks or discussions or panels, totally doable. But there's a lot of logistics with performances. We don't have changing room space. We don't have sound systems. People want to do dance rehearsals and trying to coordinate the timing in that. There's just a lot of logistics that happen in there. And they brought up things like, have police and fire been notified and access to the building and building security and sorts of things. And so we don't have support to do performances in the gallery at this time. But maybe someday. the Voices and Votes exhibit. I started that application, and as I was in there, it was asking for a partner organization support letter. So I reached out to College of Western Idaho to see if they were interested in partnering. They are interested. They're kind of in their busy season, but I hope to meet with them soon. If that doesn't work out, then we need to find another partner organization pretty quick. So if anyone has ideas, please let me know. And the programming should be related to, it's a Voices and Votes exhibit. So like something about like voter history, voter registration, definitely has to be nonpartisan though. But someone that might be interested in doing programming along those lines, which the
Yeah,
College of Western Idaho would be great because they have.
or yeah, that would be great if they are willing to do it. Or the League of Women Voters, they're nonpartisan.
Do you have a contact there or?
No, I'm sure we can find one.
Okay, good idea. Thank you.
If you don't get an answer.
Yeah, thanks. Also a tentative feedback and listening session with Idaho Commission on the Arts. Don't have a lot of details on that, but that's the Idaho Commission on the Arts is working on their long-range strategic plan. So they're looking for feedback from in various ways from different groups. They had a survey earlier this year. So it would kind of just be, they would lead it and people would just kind of, I imagine they have some questions and get some Q&A sort of feedback with Idaho Commission on the Arts. So we tentatively, they were asking for places, so I reached out and their executive director called back and thought, yeah, that the gallery would be a good place to hold that. So details to follow later. Updates on the calls. They're both due this month. Tammy DeVeert Awards, I just received another application, so we have 3 applications. One of them's not eligible because it was for Dwight, who received it last time. So any nominations that you have, please get those in soon. It's due on Friday, not tomorrow, but 1 week from tomorrow. The gallery, we have quite a few applications though, 14 applications, and 2 of them are large groups. We have lots of others that I think are anticipated. Youth Performing Arts projects, the Treasure Valley Children's Theater and Idaho Fine Arts Academy ones, they just executed those agreements through council, and Idaho Fine Arts Academy has already turned in all their final report stuff, so I'll put that on the next Arts Commission meeting so you can see their final report. The high school bands ones is awaiting some legal review though, so we don't have their signature yet. We'll update you next month on that. Concerts on Broadway is coming up, but I did want to give a little bit of an update on the community art party and what that looks like, because it's a little bit different than past years. So this is an event that's hosted by the Parks and Rec Department, not the Arts Commission, but we work in tandem with them. So we'll have the chalk art competition. Okay, so it's moving to Kleiner Park, which it was there a couple of years ago, but it's a bigger location and there were a lot of logistics with the downtown that weren't working out so well. So move it to Kleiner Park, center the performances in the band shell, and inviting different performances like Boise Rock School and Huckleberry Star Theater and the women's, I forget, Capital City Chorus that Sean recommended, to do like a 20-minute performance and then go to a secondary location and do sort of a 20 minutes of something to engage with the public. So something educational. So they kind of said they might do tags to teach people to like how to do tags, which are, I don't know, I guess that's, but maybe you know what tags are, I don't know.
Eggs?
Tags. I think it's like rounds when you're singing. Yeah. Also we're inviting as many organizations as we can get contact information for to do informational booths to offer what their services are. But arts organizations, so performing or visual or theater groups, trying to get as many of those possible to like give them access to the public and public information about all these groups that they might not know about. So that's kind of what that looks like. Oh, and Paxton has amazing graphic design skills. So the poster for that's pretty cool. It uses the little guitar guy from before, but the background is in Kleiner Park and you can see the band shell. It's pretty cool.
So I'm sorry, would you
Yeah.
go back to the performances?
Yeah.
So right now, we have 2 commitments to do performances?
Right, we don't, we are held up a little bit with the band, with the agreement, so.
Okay. So we need more though, right? I mean, how many did we want? Maybe half a dozen, or how many 20-minute segments did you want to?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about the youth performing arts agreement, so you're talking about the,
The band
Performance.
shell performances.
so we just have the one, I haven't reached out to all of the other ones yet, but I
Oh.
have a list of tentative people, so.
Oh.
Yeah, but if there's other, groups that you want to suggest, feel free, let me know. That's it. Not much. Any questions? It's all quiet.
Thank you, Cassandra. That's a lot. You did well. Anyone have any questions?
Was just wanted to also note that I attended the Fine Arts Academy concert, and just first of all, it was an amazing show. Had a great time. Well worth it. Um, they they did what they said, and they posted all our logos and gave us a ton of shout outs throughout the concert. So just kudos for them putting on a great event and well worth it.
Yeah, it was so much more than the rehearsal that we went to. I mean, it was everything from piano to all kinds of music, lots of different varieties of music, to at least 8 or 9 different dances. It was really amazing.
And they definitely went above and beyond in recognizing Mac's contribution in
Mhm.
everything, everywhere. I was kind of blown away by that.
Yeah, and 2D art and 3D art in the lobby beforehand. It was fabulous.
Okay, thank you, Cassandra, and thanks, guys. We will move on to another update from the Initial Point Gallery Subcommittee. Lizzie, do you want to take that away?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair and Commissioners. If you didn't attend the other night or haven't seen the exhibit called Framed from West Ada School District Student Art, please do so. It is absolutely fabulous. The quality of the art that comes out of West Ada is truly phenomenal. Anyway, I want to thank the co-hosts. Hannah unfortunately could not make it because she's busy getting graduated from high school, but Sean was there, I was there, and Brecken was there. And Paxton, who was the official clicker for the evening, couldn't be with us today, but Sean said that there were probably 115 to 120 people in attendance, which is good because the more people we have, the more justified we are in keeping Initial Point the viable thing that it is. The upcoming exhibit, which is called Unplanned Experience with artists Pete Grady, Tyler Crabb, and Kyla Morgan, will open on the 4th of June. Brecken will be the host for that. And all 3 artists have agreed to give short presentations. And the fact of the artists giving little presentations will be noted on the poster. So it isn't just sort of a go by and say hello to the artist. That will be on the poster, and Paxton will be taking care of that. So anyway, that's kind of it. Okay, I do want to shine a great spotlight on Cassandra, however, for taking care of that performances at Initial Point and why they can or cannot happen. We won't go into a great amount of detail, but we just can't do that right now. So thank you, Cassandra, very much for doing that. The deadline for submittals from artists for Initial Point Gallery for 2025 is the 31st. We are not going to be having a meeting in June. Am I correct? We won't have a June, we'll have a June 28th meeting for the subcommittee. I get really confused sometimes. Anyway, and Paxton and Cassandra and Brecken will be assembling the art into various sorts of categories. How you do it is totally up to you. And the submittals will go to the entire Arts Commission. It won't be just the Initial Point Gallery subcommittee. So when you get that, please take the time that it takes, and they will be very, very well organized, because I will not be a part of it, so they'll be very well organized. Take a few moments to make careful and studied recommendations, because this is for Initial Point Gallery, and that's important to everybody. Any questions? Comments? Sure.
Not green. Oh, sorry, there we go. Um, what I was gonna say was, as a art teacher in West Ada, I don't know if you guys are fully aware of what it means to these kids to be able to be exhibited. To have one representative from each school that's chosen is a crazy honor that they
Yeah.
really take to heart. And to see, I told Brecken when I was there on Tuesday, the way it was displayed in Initial Point Gallery is night and day difference from how it's displayed at the district when we do the reception. And it looks phenomenal up there. And I was so proud, and my students were so excited. The ones that went, the ones that brought their friend. I mean, a lot of them have never even stepped foot in an art gallery, if we're being honest. You know what I mean? So for them to be able to exhibit and bring their friends, it really is a huge deal to all the students. And those that, yeah, walk away with, I get a traffic box on my art, things like, it's a really big deal. And I know as myself as a teacher, I promote this for months and let them know this is what it is. This is potential. They don't have a lot of these options to exhibit like this. So just to all of you, it's a really big deal, and the students really love it. We appreciate everything that goes into this.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to the commission, because Initial Point is something that we all promote, but to have somebody who is as intimately involved in the production of art in the Treasure Valley, such as yourself, thank you very, very much for your support and kind comments.
Madam Vice Chair and Commissioners, I have one other quick update that's also going to end up being a little bit of a humble brag. The June 4th opening, I won't be able to attend that one. Paxton will be covering because I'll be at the 40 Under 40 award. I'm receiving one of those this year. It's kind of a big deal. Thanks. So, thank you.
That's very exciting. Congratulations.
What time is that?
It's on June 4th at the same time, kind of at the, yeah.
Oh, thank you for telling us. And thank you, Bridget, for your comments. Yeah, it was a really cool show. And I was the first time I attended one of those shows. And it was just really cool to see the kids and how much they appreciated having their work displayed in that way. And yeah, I tried to like find them and like compliment all of them that I could, because it was just really fun to see, like, anyway, it's see them be proud of themselves. So that was great. Thank you, Lizzie. And then we will have Patrick probably for the Events and Outreach Committee give us a little summary.
Oh, thank you for sharing, sir. I don't have a whole lot of updates. Well, the last time we met, we agreed on and talked about expanding or potential opportunities for more exhibits and community participation in Art Week. We did talk about the fact that it's going to be at the kickoff will be at Kleiner Park this week. After last month's meeting and Vasily's presentation on abstract art, I mentioned to him that it would be a great class to teach during Art Week if he was available. His response was, I'm on board if he's in town. So that could be a nice addition to the classes. We also, I think, agreed that we won't do the improv class this year, just because I wasn't, well, one person signed up and then didn't show up, so we didn't have the participation. And we're still thinking about what other possible classes might be possible, and how we can include more community artists. And your discussion about the kids showing art just made me think of if there's any way, because it's during Arts Education Week this year or this September, if there's any way of including something with student art into Art Week, whether it's an exhibit or showing somewhere or some kind of participation. I don't have anything off the top of my head, but that might be a great possibility.
And to add on, we were talking about some kind of a watercolor event. Some of the watercolor people from Idaho Watercolor Society were interested in doing, because also Grandparents Week that same week. So something where grandma shows up with the kids and they do some kind of something together, a class together or something like that. So I don't know how far we've gotten on that, but we're still talking to them.
Okay, great. And then the Public Art Committee didn't meet this month, right? So, yeah. So I think the next meeting will be on June 13th, 2024. And do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Madam Vice Chair, so moved.
Lizzie Taylor motions. Do we have a second?
I second.
Bridget King seconds. All in favor?
Bye.
All right. And we'll